Welcome to our very special holiday edition episode for this Memorial Day. Today, we've all gotten together and watched, I can't remember what year it came out in, but Top Gun.
86?
86, 87, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
Maybe 89.
I think I saw 86 when I looked at it earlier.
I don't know.
That sounds right.
I forgot. I should have looked that up before we started, but hey, that's what takes are for. Do takes on this channel. I'm sorry.
No cutting allowed. We want it raw, like a live stream.
Yeah, it's gotta be raw and in your face.
But in case you haven't lived on this planet before, Top Gun was a very special movie that came out in the 80s featuring Tom Cruise, Anthony Edwards, Val Kilmer. I can't remember the name of the girl who...
Meg Ryan.
Meg Ryan is got a very brief part in it. Tom Skerritt, Michael Ironsides. Mm-hmm. So it's got a very star-studded cast, and it's about naval aviators, otherwise known as basically fighter pilots. And yeah, you probably, if you've actually never seen the movie Top Gun, probably have seen it through the various ways that it has become a part of the cultural zeitgeist and pop culture, because it has infiltrated everything.
I think it probably depends on what your age is too, because I've never seen it, but I was born in the 80s, so just kind of through osmosis of growing up in the 80s and 90s, I sat down to watch this movie, having never seen it, and I'm like, oh, I've seen this movie before.
Well, but I think Top Gun is one of those things, like, because Family Guy has covered so much of it, the TV show Archer has covered so much of it. There are so many ways, you brought up Hot Shots when we talked about it earlier. There are so many spoofs and memes and parodies and just callbacks to so much.
And quoting of it.
That I feel like even if you've never seen it, you've seen a meme of it. You know the basics of it. Just there is something about it that you probably know. And again, it's one of Tom Cruise's really big movies that came out after he really started to make his star rise. So I feel like if you're a Tom Cruise fan who, he'll probably still be making films in like 85 years as he, tries to catch up to Paul Rudd.
Yeah, good luck.
Can't catch me, gay thoughts. See, I was going to say something, but then I don't want to say it now from after what you just said, Nick.
What's that?
I was going to say, if you're the kind of person who hasn't seen Top Gun, that you're probably the kind of person that farts in the tub and bites at the bubbles. But then you said you hadn't seen it, so now I don't want to say that. So let's just ignore that I said that.
Apparently there was no reason for me to see it. Because I'd already seen it. And by never seeing it.
But I mean, like all the little things you saw, like they had no real context, and now that you've seen it, it's kind of like, so when you go back and see it now.
No. I pretty much knew this movie.
It's one of those. I agree with what you said with like the whole like your age, because that's if you're my age, there's I'd say a 95% chance you've seen Top Gun. I know that you probably saw it just because your dad is in the Air Force. So
but that's not a fair assessment. This movie is not about the Air Force. It's about the Navy.
But I mean, it's got airplanes and stuff.
Yeah, but it's about they're Navy.
Naval.
They're naval. They're naval aviators. They make a distinction. Those guys are Navy.
I guarantee you, at some point in your life, that movie has been on in your house, and your dad's like, "That's not the way you work on that particular plane. That jet wash was in the back of this one."
My dad worked on computers on cargo planes, basically. So, no, he wouldn't have made those comments.
And that's why we do these things live, because there were so many opportunities there to be like, "Oh yeah, no, totally," but like, let's just slap Lance right in the fucking nuts.
That's what you get.
Anyways,
so we want to give scores for the movie.
Sure.
Yeah. Go down the line this way.
Which way are we going?
This way.
Oh shit.
And then give people a chance to worry about spoilers and then just talk about the movie.
Yeah.
So, if I was to give Top Gun a rating, I would say
Oh, I've got to change this. I thought we were going the other way.
Live.
Go for it.
Okay.
I would give Top Gun I'd give it a 7.
Hey.
I mean, it's one of those flicks. I mean, it would get higher if like the movie didn't have the love story element to it, but because whatever, whatever,
Kelly McGinnis.
I
That's who it was.
I want to see more cool fucking fighter pilot shit. I don't care about him hooking up with the instructor or whatever. But
Crashed and burned.
But still, like that movie, like the first time you see it, like because you had seen all the stuff throughout the fucking centuries of like
decades, not centuries.
Yeah. Okay. Well, all this stuff. But there's some things that happen when we get into the spoiler part of this movie, and we shouldn't have to say fucking spoilers because you've probably seen this movie.
I hadn't.
But
yeah, the movie's almost 40 years old, guys. So come on.
I know, but still, like
And I wouldn't have ever seen it either. This was never one I was gonna. It wasn't one on my list to be like, I'll get to this eventually.
I mean, we talked about so many different things that we could have done for Memorial Day, but like Amber's like, hey, Top Gun 2 is about to come out, and you might get some clicks by proxy. I was like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's do that.
Yep.
So
it's a true statement.
So, Amber, moving on to you. I'm
All
stalling
right.
for time, so I have to pick a number.
I'm waiting for you to pick your number, Lance. You got your number, Lance?
I got my number.
All right, you got your number, Nick?
I do.
All right, well, Lance spilled the beans earlier to Nick and mentioned that this was one of my favorite movies, which is, in fact, a very true statement. I love this movie. I have always loved this movie. It's a fun movie to watch. It's got a multitude of emotions for you to feel. It's got some homoerotic volleyball if that's what you're into, and I would give this a solid 9.
I'd still undercut it with the first 7.
I picked an 8, just so I can also do aviator glasses. But yeah, I was gonna go with 9, but then I was like, if the first time I had watched that movie, to me the hallmark of a good movie is when you walk out of it, you're just like, man, I want to go fucking fly a plane. Like the first time I remember watching that movie, I was just like, oh, I'm signing up with the fucking military. Wait, I'm fat. Never mind. Yeah, I would have given that back in the day. First time I saw it, I would have given that movie a 9, maybe a 10, because the movie's fucking dope. But then like time has eroded my score.
Time has not eroded my score. I enjoy watching it. It's one of those. It's one of my. I can put it on as a feel good movie, and I enjoy it. So.
All right. So now what?
What did Nick think?
What did I think of it?
Okay.
So I'm going into this without the vein of nostalgia. I'd give this a 3.
Well, I overshot that. I said you give it a 5.
Yeah, I also said 5. I thought it'd be a middle of the road one for you.
No, I kind of hated it. And by kind of hated it, I was like, I'm done with this movie.
Well, thanks for watching.
I know, right? So I'm coming to it with no nostalgia whatsoever. I could give a shit about planes and all the jet fighting and going to the academy. The love story was fucking god awful trash.
Oh yeah, no.
Just kind of it's very propaganda to be like join the Navy, come fly planes for us. And it came out during the Cold War, so definitely come join the Navy for us, please. We need planes over near Russia.
And MiGs are Russian planes.
Yeah. There was the aspect of like the character growth of Tom Cruise was hotshot pilot. I'm sad for a bit. Back to hotshot pilot. So he went from a horizontal line, but you sneeze during it, and then you continued. So that's the character growth.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I can see that.
So like the commander's advice to Tom Cruise was like, your friends died, get the fuck over it. And then he's like, you're right, I'm going to get the fuck over it. So I'm like, what the fuck is this movie? It's awful, I hate it.
Yeah, but I mean, I can kind of see where that advice would be somewhat pertinent because, like, you're in a dangerous profession. You're it's not all flying planes and looking like a badass, sometimes your friends...
For him it was. He didn't go from being like an amazing pilot to like learning strong lesson and being like something. He was the hotshot pilot. I'm sad. No, hotshot pilot.
Well, I mean, I didn't see it that way because it's like, I'm a hotshot pilot. I lost my hetero life mate. And then he had the same thing happen to him when he was going back into being the hotshot pilot that happened to the dude at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
So like he experienced that, but then it was kind of like, okay, he snapped out of it and then like got back into it. So I don't feel like there was just the subtle dip. It was kind of like, okay, yeah, this shit is very, very fucking real and people die. And then he felt his own mortality, and then finally it was just like, okay, my friend's going to fucking die because I left him up there with 5 fucking MiGs. Thank God Ice was such a good pilot.
Was Ice really his friend, though?
No, but I mean, still, it was,
It's his wingman. It was his wingman. He was there to bail him out.
Oh, no, they were kind of horny for each other.
Oh, God, yes. Especially
It's
when
even before, and when they were just in the locker room.
Was it Wolfman or Slider who constantly made hard-on jokes?
I think it was Slider.
One of them, like, every time, like, he was constantly like, oh, there must be one nearby. I have a hard-on. It's like, that's why it's the homoerotic volleyball scene, because it's a little gay.
It was a lot of gay.
You said it was the Navy, and there's a lot of semen in there.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
There was lots of instances of little gay.
Thank God.
It adds up to.
When you put your arm over to like scratch, I thought you were about to backhand. I was like, no.
No, I was at the scratch. I felt the mosquito.
But no, it is a huge propaganda movie. But then again, you get that when you watch any movie that has like military stuff, because like. Yeah,
I generally don't.
Well, the one thing I was watching a thing the other day. It was talking about Michael Bay and how brilliant he was, and I was like, oh, I've got to hear this. You know, how brilliant he is. But then, like, the Transformers movie, it was kind of like, okay, we're going to put military stuff in there. Because apparently, when you put military stuff in there and you talk about the military favorably, they throw you tons of fucking money.
Yeah, of course they do.
Yeah.
So it's like, we'll make a movie for free that plays off people's
NFL
nostalgia.
Does so much for the military is because they get paid to make such a big deal about the national anthem and patriotism. It's because it helps drive recruitment, and
that's fine, but I had never realized that whenever I was watching it, and it was like, Michael Bay is brilliant apparently, because I'm going to make a movie that's going to cash in off your nostalgia, i.e. Transformers. I'm going to stick military vehicles in there, and I'm going to talk, it's going to be favorable, so I make a movie for free, and then I get all of you fucking rubes money. So it's like, as long as you don't have a soul or a conscience about the material you're working on, then it's fucking cash in city, baby. And you know what? I wish I could sell out like that. I really do.
I mean, are you going to say Uwe Boll is a genius now because he buys dirt cheap video game licenses, goes over to Germany to shoot them on stupid loopholes, and ends up making money while churning out,
crappy movies?
Yeah.
I feel like the 411 got out on him early though.
Everyone knew he did awful shit, but he's made a fuck ton of movies.
Did he do Street Fighter?
No.
He didn't do Street Fighter?
No.
Okay, because I was about to say, like, Street Fighter, for all of its camp, is actually still a pretty funny movie.
I mean, it had Raul Julia in it.
And yeah, and he was fucking great. Gomez Adam as fucking M. Bison, it was great.
Uwe Boll did, like, House of the Dead and...
Postal.
Blood Rain.
Blood Rain.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
What was the one that you always give me shit about?
Is it him or is it Tim that gives you...
I think Nick was there, too.
It might be Are You Afraid of the Dark? The one with Tara Reid?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that one.
Okay.
That's Tim's the one who gives you shit about that, though.
Yeah. Well, still, it's... I meant to watch it, so sorry, Tim, but yeah, it's... I just never realized that whole angle of, like, talk nice about the military, or we'll throw you tons of money.
It's also, I mean, you can't... The military will dictate things you can do in your movie if you want to remain in their good graces and do things for them.
I thought it was mainly just like, don't talk bad about the military.
No. Well, at the beginning of this movie, they were going to have Cougar die, but they're like, you can't have Cougar die. That'll make people hesitant to join the Navy.
Yeah.
So he's just got to like land poorly.
But by having Cougar not die, they got to keep Tim Robbins in the film because his reel was Tim Robbins from Shawshank Redemption.
I didn't know that.
I couldn't tell who. He sounded like Bill.
He does not sound like it.
He sounded like
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton.
But no, it's Tim Robbins.
Okay.
It's Tim Robbins. I looked it up because like the eyes look like Tim Robbins, and I was like, huh. And I thought I pointed that out to you when we watched it earlier this week with Jackson.
Maybe. I mean.
But yeah, no, it's Tim Robbins. He's Merlin. And it's great. Okay. But I mean, for me, I grew up on an airbase. So maybe that has something to do with how much I enjoy it. Mm-hmm. I enjoy watching the planes, the flights, but like I grew up watching Top Gun. I grew up watching Iron Eagle.
Chappie, no.
You know, there were a lot of military films that I just happened to watch, and you know, Hot Shots as well.
This was almost an Iron Eagle video.
That would have been great too, though. Iron Eagle's so awesome.
I've never seen that one either.
Then if they need to make another Iron Eagle movie in 2022.
Well, Iron Eagle 2 has already come out, so I don't know which one it would be. But Iron Eagle 2 is not very good either.
Iron Eagle: The Reckoning.
But I just, there's so much about it that I like. I like
The Chappening. Sorry, I had to say it.
Does he try to get killed by planes?
Something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
planes.
I'm probably going to make you watch it at some point, so I don't want to say anything.
Maybe.
Chappie, no.
Lou Gossett Jr.
Man, he was Samuel L. Jackson back in the 80s.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, he was the fucking man. But anyways.
But no, I mean, there's so much about Top Gun that I just enjoy. It's so much is tied to the music for me too. I love the soundtrack.
Kenny Loggins was the king of fucking movie soundtracks back then.
They definitely love that song because it came up a lot.
Yeah.
They opened with it.
Well, I mean,
Then it came back a little bit later.
It's fucking. It's
catchy.
It's fucking dope. That whole opening thing, like that whole thing. I don't know about you, but whenever that song comes on the fucking radio in my car, I'm just like I'm shoving it into overdrive. Like I'm fucking like that song makes me drive fast.
And I was thinking like Highway to the Danger Zone. Your planes are not on the highway. If your plane is on the highway, you're doing something very wrong.
Being a little too literal.
Should be the flyaway to the danger zone.
I don't have a jet. I will improvise where I can.
Well, this song was made for this movie, right?
Yes.
So they wrote Highway to the Danger Zone. They could have written like any other thing and made it about planes or jets or whatever you want to call them.
Did y'all see that mosquito? It's been flying around this whole time, and it's driving me fucking crazy.
Pay no mind.
Sorry. Anyways, he's in the danger zone. I'm gonna fucking get him.
But so one of the things that I want to actually talk about specifically with Top Gun, since we're definitely in the spoiler section, anyways.
Did we even say it?
No, but you know, whatever. They should know by now.
But I think we also kind of.
But so one of the like key moments of the movie, you know, the sneeze part of your growth is when Goose dies. Mm-hmm. Anthony Edwards' character dies, and it's very tragic because like for the first time in all of the program, you know, Maverick is actually trying to do right. He's trying to stay with his wingman. He's trying to do the right thing. And he's flying with the best of their class, Iceman, played by Val Kilmer. And Val Kilmer's just like being so anal about having to have everything just line up just exactly how he wants it. And Maverick keeps on trying to call him off and saying, I can make it. And Iceman isn't listening. He's not being a receptive wingman, in my opinion. And he keeps on telling him to bank right. And when finally Iceman can't make that shot and he decides to exit the thing, he banks left.
We're caught in his wash.
And that's when they get caught in the wash, even though the whole time they're telling him over the radio, bank right. And then he goes the opposite direction, which then puts them in the wash, which causes the spin, which causes the engines to fail. And because of how fast they were spinning out to sea, Maverick couldn't reach the ejection handle. So then Goose has to lean forward to grab him, and that causes, I guess, it to misfire. So I feel like even though Maverick blames himself, obviously, for not being able to control the plane in that instance, it's more of Iceman's fault. I blame Iceman.
Even like during the trial or whatever, though, where they said it was an accident, it looked like Tom Cruise wanted them to blame him, so it could just be his fault or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it shows some respect that, you know, like that was his crew. He was responsible for him. You know, he's like, blame me because, you know, that's taking ownership of the fact that he's responsible for the person flying with him, which I had to look up the whole thing because I didn't quite, even to this day, never quite understood why there was both a pilot and a co-pilot, effectively. But I looked it up, and basically they have the pilot whose main job is to just fly and think about flying. And you know, he might be the one running the guns and everything, but the guy behind him is the one checking the radar, you know, checking the fuel, the what, you know, their actual missile loadout, find out how many they have left.
The navigator.
They are basically responsible for every system on that and to relay the necessary information to the pilot, so the pilot is just making that muscle memory instinctual command. So it's actually meant to sharpen the flight capabilities of the pilot to have that two-man system, which I thought was very interesting when I looked into it. I never understood. Yeah. I just like, because it's like every time in any other movie you ever see fighter planes, like an Independence Day, single man.
I'll tell you,
always single man.
I'll tell you what that second seat was for. Like in that entire movie, every single time, like the jet would get behind someone, the guy in the back seat's like,
yeah,
"He's on 6, go right." You know, like that was.
I think I see a missile.
Yeah, it wasn't about watching the fucking radar or the fuel. Yeah. They talked about the fuel like 1 or 2 times in the movie, but otherwise it was the dude in the back seat flipping the fuck out about grandma on his fucking on the tail. But
fly faster, we got missiles.
Yeah, right. But yeah, it's. To me, it's still one of the great movies. It's like one of those ones that you have to kind of watch because I think Risky Business technically started out Tom Cruise's career, but like that's where he like really, I feel like he broke that. He what's the saying? He earned his fucking.
His wings?
Yes.
He earned his wings.
I didn't want to go too on the nose on that, but like I really feel like that's where he like, you know, earned his wings like to becoming a mega fucking blockbuster superstar. I might be completely wrong. I don't know. But
I'm not sure. There's a couple of films like because there's Cocktail I think came out before this one.
Really?
I think so. I'm pretty sure.
I'm looking it up.
Legend came out before this one.
Well, he was really young in that movie, so I feel inclined to agree with you on that one.
I mean, there's a couple of different ones, and so Rain Man, I can't remember if it came out. Was that an early '90s movie?
So that was definitely after Top Gun.
Okay.
So
I know Days of Thunder was after Top Gun, and if you guys ever want to do like I don't know,
Tom Cruise movies.
I was thinking more of like. You guys want to have like some weird drinking redneck holiday, Days of Thunder be a great one for that because it's about race cars.
God, what was it?
I have to tell you right now, that movie's probably a 3 or 4 for me then.
It's just such a great movie though. Oh my god, I fucking love it.
It's got isn't it Michael T. Rooker's in Days of Thunder with him?
So, well, I'm looking up
Top Gun.
Tom Cruise.
Yes. So
he's on Top Gun, and first thing he said, Top Gun, Tim Robbins.
So first off, Top Gun was made in '86. So
I was right.
Yeah, you were right on that one.
I was 4. No wonder I have such a strong nostalgia for it.
Yeah, that's why I kind of make mention that I'm coming into it with no nostalgia whatsoever. I'm just watching it as a movie, and 40 years on, yeah, those are some pretty cliche things that we make fun of now.
And Kelly McGillis was the love interest.
Yeah.
So, and you told me a fun fact about her the other day, Amber. You want to say what
Is
that
it
was?
True?
I mean, it sounded true when you told me what you told me. I was like, well, okay.
It sounded true, so therefore.
I mean, I don't know 100% that is true, so I don't want to be spreading falsehoods.
Okay. I mean, it's the internet. That's what we do, right?
This has not been fact checked and verified.
Okay. That was something that I didn't know. So Endless Love apparently was one of his first movies. Taps, Losing It, Outsiders, then Risky Business. So his career started in 81. And then 5 movies later, he was in Risky Business 83, which is the earliest one. I've never seen these first 4, I don't believe. Then All the Right Moves, very popular movie. Legend as Jack, that was 85. And then 86, Top Gun.
Okay.
So I think he kind of made his bones in 83 with Risky Business because that was like one that a lot of people have seen.
And then he got cast in a Ridley Scott film for the 85 Legend because that's Ridley Scott.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you had...
Because Ridley Scott went through a phase where it's like, I'm going to do a fantasy film, I'm going to do a sci-fi film. And he was going through it and he was trying to make one of every genre. And his fantasy film is Legend.
So like Legend...
It's a great movie, I'm telling you. Don't let my nostalgia tell you otherwise.
I know that you love Legend, and I liked it when I went back originally when I saw it, it didn't hold anything for me until I realized it was Tim Curry as the Thing.
Darkness.
Darkness.
Tim Curry is darkness.
Yeah, but
The devil.
I honestly did not give a shit about that movie when I watched it back in the day because I just thought it was like a little over the top. The only part that ever stood out to me was the Mucklebones.
Mucklebone.
Yeah, that was the only part. Indeed, I do, Jack. Like that's the.
I do.
That's the character who stood out in the movie to me. But okay, so Top Gun '86, and then that's when he starts getting big movies: Color of Money, Cocktail, Rain Man, Born on the 4th of July, Days of Thunder, Far and Away, A Few Good Men. I mean, there are awesome movie after awesome movie after awesome movie after this. So,
but Days of Thunder, I'm telling you, it has Daryl from Walking Dead's brother.
Merle? Michael Rooker?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know a lot of people talk a lot of shit about it, but Vanilla Sky is actually a very good movie.
It's a weird movie.
It's a weird movie, but it's actually
a weird movie.
It's very good.
It's kind of weird, like Eyes Wide Shut weird.
I've never seen Eyes Wide Shut.
Eyes Wide Shut was weird.
It's not worth it.
It's weird.
I've never seen it. I bought it on DVD. I've never watched it.
I've seen it. It's just
you should
weird.
see if you could return it.
He bought it from a pawn shop.
I bought it from a pawn shop for like $3.
No.
You should see if you can return it. Get your $3 back.
No. But anyways, but yeah, it's. I think I really and truly believe like this was the one that like catapulted him to like lead man fucking status because he was fucking awesome in this flick. I don't know what they're doing with the new movie from what I think.
All I know is there was a guy that if he's not playing Anthony Edwards' kid in Top Gun Maverick, I don't know what his role is because this guy he's got a mustache and the one I saw him like doing an interview, but the sound was off, so I didn't really pay attention, but he looked like a young Anthony Edwards practically. So it's like, if that's not his kid, basically growing up to be like his dad, because if your dad died as a naval aviator, you're probably got hero worship and going into the same fields, probably a plausible story. So I'm like, let's just be real, that's probably his kid.
Well, in the bar scene they have with Meg Ryan, there's a little boy and there's a little girl who are his kids, right?
No, there's just a boy.
I think there's just a boy.
Just a boy.
Okay.
I think his name was Bradley.
Don't remember. But
I don't know. The last name is Bradshaw because Goose's real name was Nick Bradshaw. I made a point to put that in the memory.
You watch this be a rope-a-dope where it's like Top Gun 2 and they show like all the parts with like fucking Tom Cruise, but he's literally like the new Tom Skerritt in this movie where he's like.
I think he is going to be like Tom Skerritt though, because he's
at the end of the movie he became an instructor.
Yeah, well, they're going to do it like Creed. So, like Creed, they brought back Sylvester Stallone, but ultimately it's about Apollo Creed's kid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, like Top Gun 2 is going to be about them handing off the torch to Goose's kid. But I'm going to go ahead and say it's a bold prediction now.
So
he's going to die the way his dad did in the first movie.
Possibly. Here's a fun fact for you, because I know you know this part. Mm-hmm. Did you recognize the story about that Joe liberally borrowed
about buzzing the tower?
And one admiral,
Renzo Falcone, was that his name?
Yeah, his gnome Renzo Falcone, who was grounded for buzzing the tower.
I mean, I knew buzzing the tower already. But like I said, I'd seen this movie, but never having seen this movie.
Yeah, but I just thought it was funny because it's like you'll know that part.
Yeah.
It's old D&D game.
No, that was World of Warcraft.
That's World of Warcraft. We played an RP server, and he ended up joining my server as a
gnome.
As a gnome that he named Renzo Falcone.
Who was a real person. That was a real name for a real person.
Someone that worked at our job essentially.
Yeah.
But we only ever knew him on the phone, at least me and Joe, and he had that kind of like mafia name.
Shout out to Renzo.
Renzo Falcone.
We know he watches.
But we made World of Warcraft characters, and he said his character was
a gnomish fighter pilot.
A gnomish fighter pilot that got
grounded
for buzzing the tower, but also got fired for sleeping with an admiral's daughter. Who was obviously like there was only one admiral's daughter in Theramore.
Okay.
It was Jaina Proudmoore.
Yeah. Sure he did.
Well, that was the joke. He obviously didn't.
All right.
But he would like, oh, I got let go for sleeping with the admiral's daughter.
I knew the name Renzo Falcone, but I didn't. I remember y'all talking. I think y'all came home from work one day and was like, how badass is that guy's fucking name?
It is.
That's exactly how that conversation went.
Okay, thank God. I thought I was about to say, don't tell me they're talking about another thing that I've had like a fucking senior woman on, and I have no idea what they're talking about. So.
Well, no, but I knew that was something that Nick had been like involved with distinctly. That was an actual call out moment to something that really and truthfully, like I've read, like Tom Cruise's character would have been like had his wings pulled immediately for every stunt that he pulled in that movie.
Well, I had the very classic, like, fucking the hot shot, like, we can't do that. You're the hot, like, you have to listen to the rules. And at the end of the movie, it's like, you didn't listen to the rules. You're the best pilot ever.
Well, they even did that in the beginning of the movie where it was like, you didn't return to base. You went out to, like...
disregarded a direct
order, but you're getting your chance since Cougar is breaking down. You get to go to flight school.
Wasn't the guy who was in charge of the vessel on the Indian Ocean, wasn't that the principal from Back to the Future?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It was the bald principal from Back to the Future. And I think every role he's ever had, he's always super stern, authoritarian guy.
He was typecast well.
Yeah.
He wasn't super awful in this one. Like in the Back to the Future one, he was a fucking dick. And this one, he was just kind of like...
Military dick.
Yeah, he was a commander.
Yeah, I mean, they've got to have a bit of an assholey side to them.
Listen to the fucking rules, you dipshit.
Yeah. Or otherwise you'll be hauling a cargo plane full of rubber dog shit out of Hong Kong.
Or your friend Goose is going to die.
Right.
I'm going to rig his seat, listen to orders, or I'm going to make him slap the fucking... the top of the fucking cockpit. Yeah, I'm glad you've seen it now. I honestly, when I made the suggestion, I don't remember you saying that you hadn't seen it.
No, I made mention of that.
I said it in text, like, I hadn't seen it, so might as well change it, I guess.
Okay.
Because, I mean, we wanted to put this one out. I mean, it's for Memorial Day. There was a bunch of other ones. I looked up war movies, and the first war movie that came up was fucking 300. I'm like, 300.
I mean,
you can do 300.
When you suggested, I was like, fuck yeah, let's do that. But then, like...
But then a bunch of other movies that I'd mentioned, and you kind of mentioned that, Top Gun Maverick's coming out. Why don't we talk about Top Gun Maverick? So I'm like, fine, I guess I'll watch Top Gun. So I never wanted to watch this movie, ever.
Come on, Sideways Clicks. And hopefully we'll get like one or two people who are like, oh, Top Gun. Who the fuck are these people and what the fuck are they talking about?
Well, now hopefully I've pissed some people off and they're down in the comments telling me how stupid I am and how I don't appreciate good cinema. Like, tell me how bad I am in the comments and just like finish, like just hit enter after every sentence and just keep making new comments.
Let's not do that.
Yes.
No, keep commenting.
Comment.
Every hateful thing about me, one new comment.
Yeah. You know what? We should send this to Internet Comment Etiquette.
I know. Just give me awful comments about how wrong I am and how I can't appreciate good cinema and how like I don't like greased up Val Kilmer.
So yeah, someone point this video out to Big Money Salvia so he can like eat somebody up in the comments section. That'd be great. But since I know what our popularity is right now, it's literally going to be our friends like basically fucking with us. So
probably. Come
on, Sideways fucking Clicks. Let's hope that we get some trickle down on that because everyone, I should say, loves watching white people talk about movies. Come on. It's our stock and
Hey, I'm giving y'all a little bit of diversity. I'm a white girl.
Yeah, we needed to bring some more estrogen to this, so thank you for being in the video.
I guess I don't have enough estrogen for you.
You got better hair than me, though.
I don't know about better, but I have longer hair.
Yeah.
Currently.
I want to touch it.
Touch it. I'm not going to stop you.
I want to put it in my mouth.
I'm not going to stop this hetero life pairing.
I just want to see how far I could get. All right, so would you suggest Nick, would you suggest Top Gun to someone?
No.
Okay. Would you suggest Top Gun 2 to someone?
Okay.
Probably not.
Here's my question.
Yeah.
I know you don't care about the fighter jet scenes, but
Only the last one was interesting.
Okay, because I mean, like...
it got a 3. It wasn't a 1 or a 0.
Because I mean, I think they've done a good job at trying to actually like film real fighter jets flying and doing.
I think that's
doing
why
stuff.
it was real. I'm like, oh look, it's real, but you're also filming it from way the fuck over here.
Yeah.
And it looks like someone went outside in the back lawn.
Now
put the camera and was just
I've
like
heard
sky jets and we're just like.
From what I've understood is for the Top Gun Maverick sequel, that they actually went through like intensive flight training so they could actually be put like I think in like a real seat.
No, I don't.
And to get some. I think they tried to make it like. Tom Cruise was, I think, the one who like spearheaded this endeavor too, whereas he wanted everyone to be able to be put in the planes with certified pilots to fly them, obviously, but where basically they could get real candid shots of them in the cockpits and better footage of them flying. Because like now they could probably get drones up in the air to follow them with the cameras. I'm sure it's expensive as fuck.
Well, it being real jets didn't sway me in any particular direction. But it was just the last scene or whatever was actual stakes was the only one that I was interested in, and even then I knew what the fuck happens because, like I said, I'd never seen this movie. Knew every story beat that happened in this fucking movie.
And nobody fried a breakfast on a woman's belly.
I know, that was the most disappointing part. he didn't crack an egg on her belly and sizzle. And he didn't lay down the bacon.
We almost did Hot Shots. Like, we almost did Hot Shots.
It would have been. I would have liked that. Actually, that movie's. The first one's kind of boring. The second one's better.
Well, I mean.
Hot Shots.
Yeah, like the second Hot Shots movie had a point and had a part in that movie that like I literally fell in the aisles and was laughing my ass off. Like that whole swimming under the U-boat part. Still to this day, it's probably one of the biggest laughs I've ever gotten in a movie theater. But then again, I was a young person, and farts are funny. So, anyways.
I just think of that, like, because Hot Shots Part 2 has Ryan Stiles in it. I'm like, oh, look, it's fucking Ryan Stiles.
I'll set my charges and then blow the shit out of it. Yeah, he was great.
That's also, I can't go with you. They tied my shoelaces together.
It's a double knot. It's my other favorite part about Hot Shots Part 2 is in the beginning when he's doing all the Rambo kills and it's got a kill counter it's going. Yeah. And then like the best part is he's shooting all the people and he runs out of the clip and like two dudes pop up behind him. He just grabs a handful of shells, just slings it at him and they fall over. And like the kill counter is still going. And that part was so good. That movie had a lot of tiger blood though. Yeah. Amber, would you suggest Top Gun?
Oh, God, yes, I would, especially if you've got anybody who's big into planes. If you got a child who's big into planes or video games that's about fighter jets, anything of sort, it's fun. It's a good, fun action movie. It's good, dumb fun at the end of the day.
Or if you have an adult who's into Starscream.
Yeah. An adult who's into Starscream, or I will say we did watch this with Jackson, and Jackson was kind of interested a little bit in the planes. So,
okay.
But the rest of the movie, not really.
It is unfair to say that I am into Starscream because is he buried?
Probably. I have no idea.
Yeah, he's buried. I think he's behind all the fucking miniatures and everything up here. But
then don't worry.
Yeah. Well, anyways, I have a figure up here.
Let's not tip everything down on top of us, please.
Fine, please. Anyways, I have Jetfire up there, so like Starscream,
I only know one jet transformer.
Starscream, he'd suck it. Anyways, but yeah.
Starscream!
You've disappointed me for the last time, Starscream. I love Transformers. Anyways.
Notice to keep thinking of a stamper thing.
This is the one that I could actually get a little easier. And it was going to be an Easter egg, but I bought this for my wife because she likes Top Gun, and I like Transformers. So, Hasbro, send me free stuff. But anyways,
stop trying to be a shill.
I want to be a shill. Fucking send me Transformers.
Well, the point of like putting stuff online is to sell out, right?
And that's ultimately what this is. Like, it's just it's. I personally, everyone's like, fuck sellouts. No, I can't wait for my turn to sell out. This is my segue into it, then by all means.
Yeah, so if you like my content, sell out. Yeah. You want me to sell out so I can make more of it.
Yeah,
you want the person to make money doing what they're doing.
Comment below if you want to see me start doing.
Keep doing it.
Feet videos and OnlyFans. That's some pretty ass feet. But
oh god, at least you didn't say asshole.
You have to work your way up to there.
I mean, from the feet, that's true.
All right, I think this is enough. So,
All right.
Save me. Save me.
So go see Top Gun.
Or
2.
Or don't.
The Mavericking. I don't know what the next movie's called.
Top Gun Maverick.
I like the Mavericking better.
They didn't really try super hard with this one.
No, you know. Go watch it and then comment below and tell us if you thought.
I mean, it would have been funny if it was like Top Gun: Return of Goose. Then you're like, is this a necromancy film?
and he's in a plane and like it's all busted like a ghost ship. And he's got like all the ghost MiGs, whatever.
I'd watch that shit.
Oh yeah, it's
Sounds
better than Top Gun.
You know what? And what's great is Anthony Edwards does have a foundation as being a comedic actor before he segued into Top Gun and then later on into ER, which was where he got a lot of his dramatic work. Because he was in Revenge of the Nerds and everything else.
Fake doctor.
Let's watch Top Gun Maverick. Just be this movie again, shot for shot, except they put in like new actors into different places and they like update technology and stuff like that.
I actually think that's probably going to be a close synopsis for it.
It's just going to be Tom Cruise as an instructor.
Yeah, he's going to be Viper now.
Yeah, he'll
be Maverick, but instead he's Viper.
He'll be the instructor. They'll change some names, but the exact plot will just be shot for shot, as it were, but with just some technology changes.
Instead of having Berlin singing the iconic song for "Take My Breath Away," they have Lady Gaga.
Oh yeah.
Which I love Lady Gaga, so that's not necessarily a knock against film for me.
Is that really a thing that's happening in this movie?
Lady Gaga is performing, wrote a song for the movie.
Does it Take My Breath Away?
No, it's a new song, but it's basically.
Who's gonna sing Danger Zone?
I hope they just bring Kenny Loggins back for that. You know, just like pay the royalties, replay the whole song. I mean, put it in everywhere. Rhyme Danger Zone with Danger Zone. It's all good.
Yeah, so I thought we'd have to get someone new and modern, like what's that redheaded kid? Or a guy? He's old.
Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran did Danger Zone.
No, but he's gotta slow it down.
Yeah. It's gonna be the slow cover, kind of like when you watch like the trailer for the Ghostbusters thing. And they've got that slow piano of the old original song.
So speaking of
the slow piano of Danger Zone.
Chippendale's Rescue Rangers movie just came out.
Okay.
And you know the iconic Chippendale Rescue Rangers song from your childhood.
From the opening song.
Yeah. They changed it just enough to make it weird. So it's the same melody, but you know how it's kind of like upbeat? Mm-hmm. The guy goes down at the end of every phrase. So instead of da da da, it's like he's like da da. It's really weird. It's
dissonant.
It is. It's not quite dissonance, but it's like a falling melody instead of
minor instead of a major.
Yeah, and it just sounds so awkward. It didn't feel like, I feel like they tried to get somebody new and they had them do something new and put a little bit of a twist on it. Mm-hmm. But it's like, you're screwing with my childhood, people. I'm sharing this moment with my son. I'm trying to sing along and you're ruining the song.
You know, the part is that Jack's going to watch this and you're going to be like, no, this is the original song. You're going to play it for him. He's going to you're fucking with my childhood now, but bringing your childhood into this shit.
No, because I'm going to...
Yeah, just redact the new one. Just watch the old cartoons. They're on Disney Plus.
Yep, it came this close to putting them on earlier.
You have no idea how much in the beginning we were talking about. You know, most of the new cartoons these days suck ass. So we're gonna raise them on the stuff that But I also don't want to have the kid where all the kids are talking about. Did you see the fucking latest episode of Cocomelon where the fucking weird little lead kid fell down a well and Jack's like. No, but did you see the episode of where Starscream got stepped on by Megatron? People are gonna be like, "What the fuck are you talking about, kid?" So
he watches Bluey. That's current and trendy for his.
Still, but I'm talking like when he's like 8 or 9.
You want to connect with either kids by letting him watch his stupid current ones.
We're gonna let him watch some of those, but I'm trying to integrate some of our nostalgia towards him as well. So
right here, Jack. When you watch these in the future, this is where we started screwing you up. So.
And I did nothing.
That's
Jack,
fine.
You tried to lean over and give Uncle Nick a kiss tonight, and Nick was like, "I'm good."
Yep.
I thought it was hilarious, actually, because he's just going, and you were like,
How's it going, buddy? Well, it also would have required me to lean forward, and your chairs suck me back into the thing. Yeah, and my back does not like me leaning forward.
Our couches eat you.
Yes.
But anyways,
it's after we finish watching the movie, I've got to be like, okay, all right, now get my feet under me. But now my feet are like below my knees, so I've got to get the swing going to stand up.
Your grandpa from The Princess Bride, where he's at the end. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Sorry. All right. So I think we've covered enough on Top Gun. Mm-hmm. Comment below any other military movies that you would suggest.
Inglourious Basterds.
Don't bring up Battleship. Just stop.
Oh, Battleship.
No, stop it.
Oh, bring up what is it? Battle Los Angeles. That's a
Battle for LA. I think that's what it was called.
There might be a Battle for
You
LA.
talking about the Snake Plissken movies?
No, I'm talking about the one in which the aliens show up and the guy who plays Punisher had to fight off the aliens.
I think it was Battle for LA or something like that.
It's because it's got a colon in it.
I did.
My like Battle colon Los Angeles or like Battle for Los Angeles or something.
Yeah. So what's
300. Because that was.
I mean, you guys did throw out the classic Saving Private Ryan.
That was gonna be it.
Yeah, well, I mean, there was a lot of movies that we covered, but then you were like, well, Maverick 2 is about to come out. Yeah. And, if we can catch some of those sweet, sweet misclicks, then, by all means. But...
war movies, I got 300.
Pearl Harbor.
I got Fury. I think, I put Pearl Harbor in there.
I'd never seen Pearl Harbor.
Neither have I. I put 300, Wonder Woman, Fury, Black Hawk Down, Pearl Harbor, and The Last Samurai. It's just kind
any of the Captain America, like, you could have done Captain America First Avenger in there, too. That would, like, I mean... The idea is, you should be looking to find movies that, I mean, Memorial Day is more of a U.S. holiday, so 300 is a little bit of a hard sell.
It's a stretch.
It was more of just amusing.
Yeah.
First war movie, 300.
But like 1917, that's a world, so I think it's something done to memorialize World War I, World War II, and now it's kind of a catch-all for all military. So
for next year for Memorial Day, like, put down in the comments what you'd like us to watch. We'll pick from one of those.
I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, put this in your head or earworm in for you. 4th of July is coming up. Jaws does happen over 4th of July.
I was going to say Independence Day.
Jaws. I'm saying Jaws.
I've never seen Jaws either.
Shark's eyes. Like a doll's eyes.
But it's another one of those movies where I've never seen Jaws. I fucking know Jaws.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to happen in Jaws that surprised me. Like, nothing happened in Top Gun where I was like, oh, man, I never saw it. Like, now I've seen it. I knew it.
The one thing that actually surprised me about Jaws, like, all those years later, is Quint's story, where he's talking about...
That's one of the best parts of that movie.
So, I never paid attention to that part, because I knew there was always a lot of gravity about it. But Quint... When he talked kind of weird. They got a little bit of a slang or a drawl to him. I don't know where it's from. I don't know what region Quint was supposed to be from. But when I was little, I never paid a lot of attention to it. And then I actually went and listened to what happened with that boat.
We like last podcast on the left. And they did an episode about a series actually about that.
And there's another podcast that Tim turned me on to called Citation Needed, where they also covered.
Was it in Indianapolis?
I think it was the Indianapolis.
Yeah.
It was the boat that was like hauling a bunch of fucking plutonium. For like
it's harrowing what those guys went through, and they pulled some of the They pulled some of the things that those men who managed to survive, and the amount of men that survived the initial sinking and the amount of men that got rescued is dramatically lower, largely due to shark attacks.
Is it radioactive sharks because of the plutonium?
So,
that would have been badass.
That could have happened. But they used a lot of their retellings to really kind of sell the shark story in Jaws.
Look it up. Look it up. Look up what happened to that ship, and then go back and listen to Quint's story, because I remember we watched that thing, and then I went back and watched Jaws again and listened to Quint's retelling of it. It was just kind of like, I didn't know that actor was a really good actor, but the way he told it with that 1,000-yard stare, and that bit of survivor's amusement as he's recanting the story, pretty fucking good. But anyways,
all right, I guess let us know war moves down below. Tell me how wrong I am for not liking Top Gun. I think it's mainly because it's nostalgia. No nostalgia for it, and the movie's been told to me in pieces and chunks.
I think there is something to say that I did grow up in a very heavily military family. Not only was my dad was military, but both of my grandfathers were military, both of which were also Air Force. And even though this is naval, I grew up around planes.
Yeah.
Tell Amber and I how basic bitch we are for liking Top Gun. Down in the comments. Just type that out angrily.
I'm not a basic bitch. You are, but I'm not.
Nothing wrong with being basic.
I am basic as fuck.
No, I'm nowhere near basic.
So, to close this video out, I bring you...
Is it the robot?
It is the robot. Oh, and I don't know how much of this we can actually play without getting sued, so get ready to cut it off.
Nope, none of it at all. Bye, everybody.